Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So again we are back with our session. I'm going to outline the major parts that I'm going to do today. I'll just use the simple black paint for that. Just dip the pigment, the brush in the pigment. I'll do some dilution using this spray bottle, and I'll dilute this pigment with some water so that I have the flowy, continual flow of the pigment on my brush tip. So in this way I'll get this outline done. If you first outline this whole structure, it will become very easy for you to prime it with raw sienna or yellow ochre or Van Dyke brown along with black. Because in this architecture specifically, I am going to prime it with darker tones. It's my personal preference, but you can always go for your preferable shades and colors, which may include raw sienna and yellow ochre. But since this architecture has a lot of browns, so this is why I am introducing Van Dyke brown along with black in this architecture specifically. So if you'll outline this with using this black color, acrylic simple black color, or if you will make this drawing previously with the graphite, with the use of graphite, and then you will prime it using a broader shaped brush, flat brush on the entire canvas, it will come very handy for you to then apply the later layers and the final layers to this architectural drawing that you have painted, that you have drawn. Well, first we need to have an outline, and so that we get the clear picture of each and every part of the architecture, and we don't miss out any detail, or we don't have to redo it, because we have already done a lot of hard work already, and there shouldn't be anything that will make you feel like you are bored. You should enjoy the process. So for that you need to do all these detailing first. You have to outline each and everything, entire painting, and then you can prime it using the Van Dyke brown and black. You can wait for a bit, let the color dry, and then you can apply the other colors. I will also outline the midrib so that I don't miss it out. Midrib is very important. This midline, this mid perpendicular is very important. One of the most important element of this painting. This is the vanishing point, as I mentioned earlier, where all these points will intersect each other, will come and meet each other, and it will intersect. It's a meeting point, meeting place. We have to move a bit further from this reference, and then you can check whether each and everything is in the perfect order or not. And if it is not, make some corrections, no problem. But you need to have a final result that will be perfect and without any mistake. So you have to make it sure. Amendments later you can do using the paints, no problem with that. So the basic skeleton that I have drawn, I am just making some outlines so that I don't miss out the details. Then I will just show you guys that how we have painted. Okay, so in my acrylic paintings, usually I go from the dark tones to light tones and from light to dark. It goes in and out using all these shades, the dark tones as well as the light tones. I don't get stuck to one style. I try to change it a bit. Where there is a light and where there is a need of introducing the whites and the beiges and cream color or the bright orange color, I use those tones here. In this architecture I am talking about. And wherever I feel like to introducing the dark tones like burnt umber, burnt sienna, raw umber, all these browns family, and black, Van Dyke brown, I introduce those colors. Just giving it a basic shape because I know what I'll do inshallah later with the paint. But since we don't have much time, I'm wrapping this whole thing up, trying to wrap it up in the given slot so that we can concentrate more on the coloration. Because we can do this outlining the entire day, but the main thing is that we get to know about the colorations first. So I'm just drawing the major parts of it. Here, as we have already made this part is a narrower one, and as we are approaching the crown, the arches upward, they get broader. Alright, this is the last part that I am going for, then I'll be painting these. For the upper architecture we have certain details. For that we need a scale. There is a linear pattern. If you can see the reference photo closely, there are some lines, certain lines, some blocks. So for that I am doing the pencil work. And you know what? We don't get done with the drawing initially. Even when we are painting, there are certain things that we paint and draw. So for that we need to have white pencil, gel pens, we need to have charcoal pencils, anything that is visible on the painted canvas. We'll make use of that. Chalk, yes, I use chalk as well. Board, chalk board. Chalk of the board, blackboard. It comes very handy when you are doing acrylic painting, especially the abstract one, calligraphy. It comes handy. Otherwise, we have this option of white graphite pencil. We have this white pencil, easily available charcoal pencil, white, and you have white gel pen as well. It also comes handy when you are doing the painting or when you are making the details on a painted canvas. We have some blocks here. Here in this part as well, and the midline from the center of this globe, we'll drop the midline. We'll make some grids. This is the pattern. Okay, so in this section, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the shades as I mentioned earlier: portrait color, little bit of portrait color and fluorescent pink, along with white, little bit of orange. You can note down all these colors for certain specific areas. You can make a diagram and you can note down the colors that I'm using. So I will just start painting. I'll incorporate wherever I feel like to lighten things up, I will use white. Wherever I feel like adding bit warmth to the shade, I will add the primary shade. The shade that I am using, the formulation that I have made, the combination color of 1, 2, 3 colors, fluorescent pink, portrait color, and a bit hint of orange on the pigment of the tip of the brush, and then you'll paint it. What you can do is you can do the underpainting with Van Dyke brown and burnt umber. First you can do just underpainting using a lot of water. First of all, wetten the surface like this. Van Dyke brown and burnt umber, any shade of brown you can use. You just wetten up the surface like this. And what else you can do is you can just take the brush, dip it in a Van Dyke brown, a diluted version of it, and just do the base painting. And we'll wait. First we have done this base. We can do the entire base like this. Okay, I am choosing Van Dyke brown along with burnt umber and black. In some areas like here, these are dark areas, so I will also use black along with Van Dyke brown and burnt umber in these darker areas. But first I need to wetten up the base. Otherwise my color will form some clumps and will be only at one specific place. I want it to scatter. I want this pigment to spread. And for that I have to apply a diluted version of this color like this. But you have to make sure that the black base, the black outline doesn't get hidden behind this brown coating that we have done. If you feel like, just do the power of this magic. Alright guys, so this is how it's done. I made the base brown. If you have seen the clip, the mini clip of this video I have shown on the Instagram, I have done this color dripping method first. I really love it, and it's a watercolor method actually. I am using these acrylics as watercolors here right now. Even in your big acrylic painting, you can also go for this pattern. It will give your paintings a watercolor effect.
Can we use flat brush for the base color?
Yes, of course. You can use flat brush as well.
Because it will take too much time.
Yeah, because since I'm painting a small area. I'm demonstrating a small area. What you can do is, my recommendation is, when you are covering a big surface area, you will always use a flat brush to cover the entire painting. But first you have to dampen the base. Make the base moist. And whenever you feel like you have applied a lot of color and it's a clog on a certain place, then you just have to use this puffer. So if you do the base first like this, it will give a nice and brown touch to your painting. And you can select on the areas where you feel like there is shadow, there is darkness, then you have to add black along with Van Dyke brown. Like here, in this roof area, I will just add some black. Sprinkle some water on it so that I don't miss out the details. But yes, when it get dry, it will give you an effect like this, something like this. So your base is ready. This is the ready base, and you will see the difference that without the base, how will the color look, and with the base, how will the colors look. You'll see the difference. So I'm just covering the areas where I will do the coloration today. I'll just wait for a bit, let the color dry. Maybe I'll show you this part. Can you give me my mobile? I have to follow the reference, I forgot to take the mobile. Okay, so here I'm going to do this part. I am applying burnt umber and Van Dyke brown here as a base. This is the diamond part, the cut of the pillar. I am doing the base first. I am applying a dark tone here and I will uplift the color using the light tones. Thank you. Here in the side, I am using solo Van Dyke brown. And in the main body, I am using burnt sienna. It's near to the orange shade. I love this shade. In most of the architectural painting, you will find this shade. And you will incorporate this shade and mix this shade with mid yellow and orange yellow, maybe a shade of orange. It gives a nice metallic look. So in this painting, I am doing the base with burnt sienna and Van Dyke brown in the edges. And for the base, firstly I am going to take Van Dyke brown. I'll drop it down. I'm also using black. We have a different color combination here. You can use a combination color. So you can also use a flat brush for this. I think it will come more handy and it will give a nice shade. We'll use gray, mid gray. In this pillar, we are going to use mid gray, white. We'll mix all these shades. Since the base is dampened, since the base is wet, it will be very easy for you, and your colors are already wet. It's in the diluted form. So it will be very easy for you to mix all these shades with the brush strokes. And will finally give a nice shade that you want to approach. I will also use portrait tone and little bit of orange yellow, maybe. Let's see. And burnt sienna. No, not burnt sienna. Raw sienna. It's in the family of yellow ochre. It's a bit darker shade, more brown to it. So these are the colors: Van Dyke brown, combination of Van Dyke brown with black, burnt umber, white, mid grey, yellow ochre, raw sienna, portrait tone, All these colors will formulate this pillar. Once I'm done with this pillar's base, then I will uplift these colors using lighter tones, which is white, and there's another shade, a mix of white along with Van Dyke brown, and mid yellow. It makes a nice ivory shade. I also use this shade. We'll also use this shade in the top of the roof architectural structures. Okay, if you miss out the black outlining that you have done, no problem. Take the scale again, draw the line using the white gel pen or pencil, and then you can repaint it. So I am uplifting all these shades that I have used previously using white. White will be the color to uplift all these dark tones, and we'll just wait for a while, let the colors dry. Let this base dry, then we can recoat it again. We'll come back to it and we'll recoat it. We can also add warmth using portrait again. If you want to add warmth, we'll use again the lighter tones. We can use portrait color, we can use a combination of burnt umber, Van Dyke brown along with white. We can do in and out with the shading. Mid grey as well. Let's just not miss out the mid grey. Mid grey is a very important color we'll be using. You can also add portrait tones along with a little bit of pink color here, and you can lighten these tones using white always. If you want to dark any color tones, you can use black color for darker shades. If you want to lighten things up, use white color. In the side, I am going to use primarily the mid grey, and I will give some shadows to it, to this part, using black. And I will let this damp surface dry so that I can do the further detailing on it using white color. So let's just wait for this color portion to get dry, then we'll do further highlighting of this part. For the grey marble, I'm using mid grey. As a base color. You will use mid grey as a base color. You can also use black. Here you will use black, grey and white. The three basic colors that will be used in this part of the marble, this part of the pillar, will be black, grey and white. Just that way. No other colors. I guess I have to wait a bit because the surface is damp and it's not picking the dried color, wet colors. So let me just get moving to this part of the architecture first. So coming back to it, we have the peachy pink tones that I am applying over here. You can also go for pink. Along with hints of orange. And portrait tone. Now you guys can see the difference that if the base is of different color, then the color outcome, the final layer is different. And the other part of the color you can see we have a brown base. This is the part of the calligraphy. I'll make some grids, lines that I drew previously. It will be the best when you will paint it via scale. This is the part of the calligraphy logo that I am painting right now. I need to dry it up. Okay, so same things we are going to do over there. Using all these portrait tones, pink along with white, hints of orange, the top base. You can now see the difference. This is very shiny, this is a little bit matte with the brown base. This is how it will look. If you will do the Van Dyke brown base first, it will look something, it will appear something like this. Now it's up to your preference, your choices, what kind of a painting, what kind of shade you want. If you want this to be very nice and shiny, it will give you this. You know both of the alternative solutions, you know both of the ways. For color uplifting, you always go from dark to light. We have missed out the details because of coloration, but no problem. I'll do it again, no problem. Okay, now guys, we have some other work to do, which is this. I hope the white pencil works on this wet surface. This will be the first brown brick that will follow. Okay. So, and this is the detailed portion that we have. And joining these two curves together. Then here we have another section, then another section which I am opting. I'm not omitting. I'm not going for it. I'm just making this part. Similarly, I'm going to repeat it on this side as well. This pattern, same here too as well. But I'll still have to manage and see the line and neck again, whether these are correct or not. It's a little bit upward. See, I'll have to recheck each and everything again and again. Since we are doing this part, I'm going to demonstrate it here. Already done that part. Okay, we have Allah written over here. That I can normally do with a pointing white brush. And we have a background halo encircling this part of the calligraphy. So I did the base color using white. I will also add some details to these lines using white color, maybe, if I feel like, giving it a little bit bricky look, so something like that. And in the middle section, you can always clean wherever you spill the extra pigment. You can always clean it with the base color. Like here we have in this globe Van Dyke brown. I spilled some of the white color. It's not looking good. It's not finishing. The finishing is not there. So what I'll do, I'll just repaint and pick out the extra and do the corrections like this. Okay, why white color in the base? Because I need to apply certain colors on this white color. There are times in which there is a pigment in the base color, and if you want to apply any other color on that, first we have to make it black using white pigment, let it dry, and then apply any other pigment on it. If you will paint any other color, like for example, if I would have painted white yellow color on this, the circle, outer circle, white circle, it won't be visible. But now, as I have encircled it with white, I'll let it dry, and then I will recoat it with my desiring colors, so that it will make it look visible. Same is the case with the Ghilafi Kaaba calligraphy. The Ghilafi Kaaba calligraphy will contain the calligraphy part. I will have to paint it first white in color. Since the base is dark, I will paint the fold first. The base will be dark. So what I will do, I'll draw the calligraphy first. I'll paint the calligraphy with white first on the black, because if I'll directly apply yellow shade or orange shade, it won't look good. Even golden you have triple 4 coat time 4 coat times, or you have to use gold foil. So what I'll do, I'll just paint the white first as white base, and then I'm going to repaint it or layer it with several different other colors like mid yellow and orange yellow and burnt sienna, different other colors, right? So if you want to uplift any color on a darker base, you can note this tip down. So if your base is darker and you have to uplift any other color, you have to use white shade as a base color on that, as a platform for that color to stand upon that. Okay. So here we are doing the same. I'm just letting it dry for some time so that the other color then I'll apply. It will look good and it won't smudge. Because right now my canvas cloth is moist and the color that I will apply won't look good and would smudge. Okay. So meanwhile it's getting dried. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do this part. Here we have a brown base. Then we have, okay, what you can do is, you can just mention B for brown. For these parts, so that you do not get confused, just mention B. Then we leave the space and say B. This portion belongs to B, means brown. Then leave white portion and say B. This is the B's portion. Okay. You will do it throughout the arches, crowns. Okay. This you will follow this pattern. So here we have. I'm using Van Dyke brown along with white and along with burnt umber and black. The first brick or block, you can say. The first block, the second block, the third block, the fourth one, I'm doing this portion, okay? Alright guys, this portion. Because we are out of time, we have like 20 minutes more. So I'm trying to cover the important parts. Do the base first and then we will do the uplifting colors then again. Similarly, we are going to paint the black base first here in these sections as well. But we know where our browns are. Because in these browns that we have mentioned, we will also add ivory and pink shade and we will do the detailings. So we have to know our browns in this painting, which is actually quite confusing, but you will manage it inshallah somehow. Okay, here we have a little line, which is actually the curve of this panel, this arch going upward to the midrib. We'll also mark that. Okay, for outlining, I'll dip the brush. It has some brown pigment on it. What I will do, I'll just give some light strokes, brush strokes of the brown pigment on the outer layer of this arch to make a boundary. This is the boundary. Same pattern we are going to follow over here. We have to create a boundary. Something like this. Here in this section, it's a combination of peach, pink and yellow ochre, combination colors. So a bit too aggressive right here, right now, but we'll dampen it up using, blend it out using Van Dyke brown and portrait tones. If you feel like there's an extra color on the canvas, you just pick it up using the soiled tissue papers. And there's no need to panic, no problem. Use some white. I should know that this is our color palette. We are going in and out with these colors in this particular architecture. So yeah, you already know your colors. Okay. I'm using color combination of white, pink, hints of Van Dyke brown and portrait tone for the detailing over here, these sections. I'm making the detailing via brushes, but you can use white charcoal pencil or white gel pen, because the surface is not dried yet and I'm just making the details via my brush tip. But you can wait at home, you can wait, or here you can wait in my next class. You can wait for the color to get dry and then you can do all this painting work once the canvas is all dried up.
Randomly draw characters.
Yes, I'm just randomly drawing these. You can follow the reference, you can follow the real image, you can follow my painting. I'm just randomly drawing some structures, some Madinah patterns or anything I feel like that would include in this architectural painting. So what shades I'm using portrait tone, I'm using pink, I'm using a hint of Van Dyke brown along with white. For uplifting of the color, these colors I will use white. Wherever I feel like I'll add more colors here in this part. And once it's dried, then I can also, that will also help me, because right now it's just damp, so every color, every pigment is just like spreading. Once it is dried, it will be easier for me to paint, inshallah. But right now it's to demonstrate that how it will work. Specifically, this is how it's going to work. Okay, you can also give prominence to these structures that you have made using the Van Dyke brown and black, and give some shadows to the structures in order to pop them up, in order to make them a separate entity and give them shading and make them look like a 3D symmetrical structure You can also introduce the shading through Van Dyke brown and black. I cannot wait for this canvas to get dried and then I'll apply the colors. Since I have done this base and everything is moist, and it's very difficult for me to work and demonstrate it to you guys right now, but still I'm trying my best to demonstrate what's going on and what you will do in your own paintings. So I hope that it is nice and clear to you and you will be able to do what is being taught here, inshallah. Similar shades, using all these similar shades, pink, portrait colors, Van Dyke brown, white, for color uplifting white, you can use. Want its base to be a bit white, you can go for the white base as well, or if you want to keep it dark like this right now, you can go for that too. You can wait for the color to get dried, then you can add some detailings to this final structure. Making some designs and make it look like 3D, you can go for black and Van Dyke brown in combination. You can apply it on these spaces where you feel like, adding some brown tones and black tones to it all together and make it look like the structured and interior design will be popping up. So it will give a more 3D look to your painting. I'm not following the exact design that you will follow, inshallah, but I'll tell you how it will be done. Same tones for color uplifting, I have used white along with portrait tone and pink mixed all together, hints of Van Dyke brown. You can also go for orange. It's up to you, to your choices. You guys must have seen the difference now. As a little bit of the canvas is dried, I have applied white color, and along with the peaches and the pinks So it gives you this. It makes the detailing prominent. As soon as you feel like adding more details to your painting, you can add it unless you get the final outcome. There in some spaces you can also use, you can hide the brown pigment. It's not necessary that you show the entire brown pigment there. In some spaces you can hide it using the same similar tones that you are using for the detailing on these blocks. You can hide it as well. And once they are hidden and the color is right, then you can do some touch-ups using Van Dyke brown and black, of course, for the 3D look. Let me show you. Make an outline to give a prominent highlight to this structure. It's necessary. We're using black Van Dyke brown and a little outline with white on the arch, connecting arch. Okay, here we have, I'm using yellow along with mid yellow. You can also use golden here, golden color if you have. Golden color for this outline work. Leave some spaces for the white. Don't cover the entire thing with the white color. Finally, you are going to give some shadows to this structure. Use a clean brush and disperse the extra color in the background. Using the clean brush like this. I think the preferable color over here in this halo would be golden. Golden, you have Bluebird's 24K gold shade. It's a beautiful shade and I would recommend you to use that one. Okay.
You have all colors from Bluebird?
No, not all. I'm not a fan of Bluebird.
What do you use?
I use Macro Classic and Mary's. I am not at all a fan of Bluebird. But yes, the 24K gold color is gold walking. Okay, you show this grey part. How much time do we have? 5 minutes more. So I'm just doing this outlining work with black. Here 3 shades will be involved: black and mid grey and white. 3 specific shades will be involved here. What you can do is you can just paint the base color first and then You can make the drawing using the charcoal pencil. So we will go in and out with these shades, black, and we have 3 stars over here. We make the shape like this. Some black colors will be applied on these stars. No talking, buddies. Concentrate on this bulb. So basically 3 major shades that you will be using here would be grey, black and white. You already have the base of Van Dyke brown. Just need some color uplifting using white. Similarly on the sideways at the same shape. From the side, these stars will appear like this, 3 stars. So with the side drawing. Form an abstract maybe. Yes, for depth. For depth I have given, for shadows I have given black outline. And finally to these stars I am also giving black outline for the depth. Okay, here we will just use this white color as our base color, and then we can apply as we have done previously here over here, and to follow the same pattern over here. But the time is now over, and I think that we should wrap this whole thing up for today. And inshallah in our next session, which will be our final session, we'll do the rest of the painting and the coloration, and you guys will do the coloration, the light painting over here, and I will get to know that what have you learned in this session. If you do it practically, In our next session, we'll be able to do it, and try it out also at your home. You must have all these colors. If you don't, I will share the formulations and the hacks and the tips you can formulate all these colors. There are a lot of users on, there are a lot of artists on YouTube who have shared the color combinations and the color making. I'll share all these coloring details with you. So if you don't have colors at home, no problem. You can use those colors, the primary ones that you already have, to make new colors. And then you can try it on those in this painting. You can take the canvas home, and inshallah on Thursday when you come with your canvas, all drawing complete, and the painting so far that I have done should be completed. Both sides, this one and this one, till this part, this part, this part. It should always also be complete, the arches. So this is going to be your homework. Take the canvases home and come prepared in the next session. I'm closing the session now.